Food contamination and its prevention. So, what is food contamination? It is the presence of substance condition in food that can be harmful to human being. How can it be contaminated is by a variety of points as the food flows from the farm to the table. What is the risk of having food contamination? Illness, injury, and even death from consumption of unacceptable or unsafe contaminated food. So there are three types of food contamination. One, bacterial contamination, physical contamination, and then chemical contamination. Most common is bacterial contamination, where food contain bacteria which are capable of causing foodborne illness that may result in food spoilage, food poisoning, and even death. Physical contamination means food contaminated with other stuff, such as hair, nail, or used water-proof dressing that can be found in food. Chemical contamination means the food is contaminated by chemicals that cannot be seen, such as detergent that are not washed properly. So, ways of bacteria contamination in food. 1. Contaminated food bacteria pass directly from the source of food. Second is through cross-contamination, where food handlers contaminate food through cross-contamination. So what is cross-contamination? It is the transfer of harmful bacteria from contaminated source to the uncontaminated source. For example, raw food and cooked food are prepared on the same surface area. Contamination by food handlers and improper storage practice. This can be prevented by cleaning all equipment, utensils thoroughly after each use, washing your hands after handling raw meat and poultry and eggs, preventing insects, animals, and birds from entering into food rooms or coming into contact with food. We can also use separate wiping cloth, work surface, equipment, utensils for preparing raw food and cooked food. Ill or infected food handlers should not be allowed to handle food. Train kitchen staff on proper food handling and hygiene practices. They should be able to maintain personal hygiene, never talk about food, and wash hands properly. Finally, store, raw, and cook food separately, especially meat, to avoid cross-contamination. As conclusion, food contamination is something that cannot be taken for granted by food handlers because it can cause death. Food handlers should always take extra precaution to prepare good and safe food for the consumers to eat. Thank you.